Greetings once again, my friends, and happy Thursday, and it's time for us to search for some answers. We are in one of the huts in Icicle Inn, and we actually have found this video computer that has some of the answers to questions you might not have been able to get. A lot of people didn't actually know at the game's release that this was here, unless you actually looked around for it, myself included. But once I found these were amazing. Cameras ready? Then Ifalna, please tell us about the Cetra. So, believe it or not, that is Professor Gast, and that is also Aeris' mother, Ifalna. 2,000 years ago, our ancestors, the Cetra, heard the cries of the planet. The first ones to discover the planet's wound were the Cetra at the North Pole. Tell us, Ifalna, where is the land called North Pole? That is actually a very good question. North Pole refers to this area. The Cetra then began a planet reading. Ifalna, what exactly does planet reading entail? And I should point out, if you haven't been able to follow here, Cetra is another word for the ancients, so Aeris' people. I can't explain it very well, but it's like having a conversation with the planet. It said something fell from the sky, making a large wound. Oh, so it looks like meteor has happened before. Or at least something like it. Thousands of Cetra pulled together, trying to heal the planet. But due to the severity of the wound, it was only able to heal itself over many years. What she's actually talking about is that northern crater. Due to the ancients, rather the Cetra, or do they rather have special powers to heal the planet? No, it's not that kind of power. The life force of all living things on this planet becomes the energy. So the life stream becomes that. The Cetra tried desperately to cultivate the land so as not to diminish the needed energy. Even here, so close to the northern cave, the snow never melts. Yeah, it's the northern hemisphere. Is that because the planet's energy is gathered here to heal its injury? Okay. Yes, the energy that was needed to heal the planet withered away the land, then the planet. So you can look at this northern territory kind of like scar tissue. The planet tried to persuade the Cetra to leave the North Pole, but... Ifalna, let's take a break. I'm all right. When the Cetra were preparing to part with the land they loved... Oh, excuse me. Happy Thursday, by the way, everybody. That's when it appeared. It looked like our dead mothers and our dead brothers, showing us specters of their past. Who was the person that appeared at the northern cave? I haven't any idea. Of course you don't. That's why you're asking. That's when the one who injured the planet, or the crisis from the sky, as we call him, came. He first approached as a friend, deceived them, and finally gave them the virus. Oh no, the T-virus is in Final Fantasy! No. Wrong virus, guys. The Cetra were attacked by the virus and went mad, transforming them into monsters. Then, just as he had at the North Pole, he approached other Cetra clans, infecting them with the virus. You don't look well. Let's call it a day. So this is basically kind of a lore expedition dump. Like, a lot of things that you might have questions for in Final Fantasy VII get explained in these documented files. So you already saw the original crisis. Now we're going to go into what is weapon. Because some people might actually still have that question. What is weapon? Why are they there? Ifalna, can you comment on the thing called weapon. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Professor. The one the Professor mistook for a Cetra was named Genova. That is the crisis from the sky. Okay, so now we know what Genova is. The planet knew it had to destroy the crisis from the sky. You see, as long as Genova exists, the planet will never be able to fully heal itself. Much less have a movie a few years later. Back then, weapon was a weapon the planet produced of its own will. Yes, but there's no record of weapon ever being used. There's no record of weapon ever being used. I actually have no idea who's talking. A small number of surviving Cetra defeated Genova and confined it. The planet produced weapon, but it was no longer necessary to use it. Okay, well that's good. So weapon no longer exists on this planet. Weapon cannot vanish. It remains asleep somewhere on the planet. Even though Genova is confined, it could come back to life at some time, which weapon did, when the planet was in danger. The planet has not fully healed itself yet. It is still watching Genova. Where is weapon? I don't know. I can't hear the voice of the planet well. Times have changed. The planet is probably watching this situation closely. Thank you, Ifalna. That will be all for today. So kind of an answer, but kind of not. Just kind of explaining that the planet created weapon as kind of an internal defense system against Genova, and it could awaken at any time. And now we know when that happened. You also have confidential. So daughter's record, 10th day after birth. Yes, this actually kind of confirms Ifalna and Professor Gast were a thing. What are you doing, Professor? I mean, honey. Oh, I'm thinking of taping it on video, but the video's not working right. What are you going to tape? Is there still something I haven't mentioned? Oh no, that's not it. I'm going to record my beautiful daughter. And when she's sleeping, her face looks like an angel. First, we have to figure out her name. We could take the video later. I've already decided. If it's a girl, then it will be Aeris. That's that. You are so selfish. But Aeris is a good name. It's a good name considering it came out of that forgetful head of yours. Right. Oh, the videotape. Okay, so this is also another big revelation. Professor Gast and Ifalna are Aeris' parents. So 20th day after birth. And yay, we have video. Video again? You just got that through taping. Or you just got through taping. Oh, please don't say it that way. It's our lovely daughter, both yours and mine. Oh, sorry, that's Gast. Don't you want to capture her childhood on videotape? If you keep doting on her like that, she won't grow up to be strong. Aeris is different from the other children. I wonder what dangers await her. Never say that. I will protect you and Aeris no matter what. I'm sure you will. You and Aeris are my only treasures. I will never let you go. I feel so much better now, darling. If I hadn't met you, Aww. Oh. Look at that. I was just about to... Damn! How dare they intrude on our private time together? I'll send them away. Yes, at once. The devil? It's them! I've been searching for you, Ifalna. Or should I say, Cetra? Long time no see, Professor Gast. Hojo! How did you know? Believe me, I had to turn over a stone or two to find you. 2 years I waited. That's how much I wanted this new sample. New sample? You don't mean Aeris! Aeris. What a nice name. That's it! I'm severing all ties with the Shinra! Hojo, please leave. Please, Aeris has nothing to do with it. All you want is me, right? Ifalna! I'll need all of you for my experiment. You understand, don't you, Professor Gast? We can change the future of the planet. Don't worry, Ifalna. I'll take care of this. Please don't put up a fight. I don't want any harm to come to my precious sample. What a funny-looking camera. Guard, destroy it. Be careful with her! Or be careful with her. What are you doing, Professor? Ifalna, take Aeris and run! Darling! Oh, and, don't forget the child. A video? The Ancients? Weapon? A mountain of treasure! Thank you, Professor. So this also kind of answers what happened to Professor Gast, why him and Hojo were connected, all that fun stuff, as well as being able to give you kind of a backstory that this game hasn't necessarily been able to portray. It probably would have been better to put this at the beginning of Disc 2, but I kind of also like it here as well, because it's just another one of those loose ends that we can tie up before ending Disc 2 on a higher note. And like I said, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. I know that I'm a little late on this, but we had a little bit of not an accidental, but a shortcoming this week, and so I had to take care of that first. Nothing major. My wife, unfortunately, came down with an infection, and so we needed to get her to the doctor, and I needed to take care of her and our 2 girls, so that's why things are coming out a little delayed this time around. Not a big deal, though. But yeah, like I said, so the current plotline that we're actually going towards is we need to find that key for the City of the Ancients, at least that Bugenhagen wants us to find. But also I wanted to tie up some loose ends. We tied up some loose ends with Vincent, as well as introduced Zack to people who may not have known who he is, as well as being able to show that documentation of Ifalna and Professor Gast. Now it's time for us to actually go and find the key of the Ancients. And it's actually fairly easy to find. All you have to do is go to the northern continent underwater. which is what we're doing right now, but we have to be careful because we are in the open water where Emerald Weapon can show up. The best thing that I know to recommend to people is if you have to do this underwater, like you don't know where you're going, just hug walls. Just hug walls, and if you actually see him, because sometimes Emerald Weapon, as you can see off in the distance, he has a random spawn rate. I've actually had him, as soon as I went down underwater, be right in front of me. And just as soon as you can, go back up so you can reset him so you don't engage the encounter. Unless you want to engage the encounter, then by all means have fun with that. And I believe, yeah, this is the cave that we're looking for. People might remember, we had to go to a place where even sunlight couldn't reach to find the key. And it's right here. It's exactly underwater beneath the City of the Ancients. Do you think it's... Analysis completed. The exact date of origin cannot be determined. Estimated to be several thousand years old. Key of the Ancients. So now we have key item, Key of the Ancients. Now we can figure out what answers we might have about what Aeris knew that we didn't. But first, we've got to get out of the underwater area, hopefully without having Emerald Weapon right on our heels. Normally at this point, I would actually get myself... Yeah, here we go. So get myself back up above, because Emerald can't hit you there. And go park the submarine just outside of Junin. And I also apologize for the coughing, but as you can imagine, I've been taking care of a sick mom, technically kind of a sick kid, because my eldest daughter is having some issues, and our youngest. So I've got a little bit of a cough right now, and allergies and all that fun stuff. Such is parenthood. So let's go ahead and get back onto the high wind, and we'll head back to the City of the Ancients. Wrong one, Cloud. There you go. That's another thing that I haven't actually mentioned in this one. I do like the fact that the Sky Dome has changed in Disc 2 to reflect Meteor. And I don't care what anybody says, I really do think that there are multiple Sky Domes in this game to reflect Meteor getting closer. Because I swear, like at the beginning, it looks very distant. And the further on in Disc 2 you get, it looks like it's getting closer. So at that point, it like takes up more of the Sky Dome in the game. Which I always thought was a really awesome thing. It always kind of gave you that looming threat of, you know, the inevitable happening. So here we are, back at the chamber where we left Bugenhagen. Now, technically, if you were having issues trying to find that key, I know where it is. But if you were having trouble with it, you could come back to Bugenhagen, and he might be able to provide more clues on where you should look. So go ahead and talk to him. Oh, you found it. Okay, so that music box over there, we'll put the key in it. You sure it's a music box? I'll go use the key. You all wait here. And watch closely as to what happens. Okay, so... I don't know why you would think that's a music box, but okay. Bonk. There you go. It worked. Yes, it is a music box. I just kind of wish they would have figured that out as soon as he put the key in, instead of his dialogue pointing at it. Well, whatever that did. Oh, okay. Well, it opened up a waterfall, hitting the central area. Well, we've all been washed away. Actually, no, we haven't. So, you could step into that central area now. Now go inside. Hope may be inside, or a scary monster. Or are we about to be eaten by a Gru? It's entirely possible. Ah, now the device is working. This was just a screen to project an image. Oh, wow, that's an amazing screen. Look at the image projected on the screen of water. It also gave us an extra platform. So this is the moment that Aeris fell. As you can see on the top of her head, you can see a pale green piece of materia that falls off of her hair. And that is the white materia. The counter to the black materia. Oh, and look at that. It's still resonating. It's glowing. It's pale green. Aeris. Aeris has already prayed for Holy. After I gave up the black materia to Sephiroth, Aeris's words came into my dreams. And this is the first time you're telling people? She said she was the only one who could stop Sephiroth. And to do that, there was a secret here. That was Holy. That's why she had the white materia. Aeris knew about here and what she had to do. Aeris has left us great hope, but it cost her life, her future. I'm sorry, Aeris. I should have figured this out sooner. You left us without saying a word. It was all so sudden, so I couldn't think. That's why it took me so long to find out. But, Aeris, I understand now. Aeris, I'll do the rest. You mean we? What Aeris left for us, we can't let it go to waste. We certainly can't. Thank you, Aeris. Aeris's voice has already reached the planet. Just look at the glow of the white materia. But how about Holy? How come Holy isn't moving? That's a better question. Why? Something's getting in its way. Him. He's the only one that could do it. Sephiroth, where are you? You already know where he is. So now we know what our goal must be. We have to get Holy working, but unfortunately, that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, we will continue on our journey to make sure that Holy can obliterate Meteor.